Connections. I'm Marnell Yu, your host. Glad you're joining us on this wonderful first show for July. But first of all, I want to send a huge kudos, shout out to the town of Prescott Valley for the most amazing 4th of July celebration that we've had in years. And I've been here for 17 years, and just moving it to the Civic Center, adding all of the extras. And then, of course, I think it was the premier fireworks show in the state of Arizona. So again, to the town of Prescott Valley, all the staff, the leadership, it was awesome. It was wonderful. Thank you. I can't wait to be a part of things next year and see how we can, I don't know if we can blow it up even more, right? So again, thank you for a great 4th. Right now, joining me now is Mike Kimmel, the executive director, and Kathy Kilmer, who is the board director for Agape House. And we're here to talk about their event coming up, Boots and Blessings, a 10-year anniversary gala. And it's been 10 years, Mike?
It has. It went fast, but we're excited. We love Prescott Valley. It's great to have a 4th of July party on the 4th of July.
It was great. It was wonderful, and just a wonderful day. What a community, how we know how to celebrate. Yes, but we're looking forward to having you join us over here, because I know we were talking a little bit earlier that you're getting ready to break ground on Agape House here in Prescott Valley.
We are very close. Mayor Kell and the whole town council were super. About 2 years ago, they said, we'd like you over here also. And so a piece of land was given to us by the town, about 0.7 of an acre. And we're excited. Down off of Yavapai, pretty close to 69, by the DES building.
Oh, yes.
So we can put up 6 large 2-bedroom manufactured homes over there. And our families will get to enjoy all the great stuff in Prescott Valley.
Oh, absolutely. Well, it's a great place for families, and I think that's what you do, is help families in need. So a little bit, before we go any further, tell some folks about Agape House.
Sure. It's a long-term transitional program for families that are homeless. So families that are living in cars or living in grandma's garage or living in different places. In Prescott Valley, they say about 150 homeless kids. Yeah. Chino about 300 plus, and Dewey even more. And we just want them to be able to kind of recreate the family they once had and just enjoy themselves. Enjoy that new property is next to a park. It's next to close to Mountain Valley Park. It's close to here, and you guys have the amazing Yava line.
Oh, that's
which is super.
Yes, well, thank you for that shout out too. Should you want to work for the chamber for a while, Mike?
I can't afford you.
No, but again, we talk about homelessness and understanding that, in this day and age, you may lose your job, or your rent is increased to a point where you no longer can afford it, and those circumstances can put you in that situation, even though you've been working all along. So having you to step in and give them that hand up is just amazing. So we're excited to look forward to breaking ground and then sharing a ribbon cutting with you.
It'll be a good party.
It'll be a wonderful party. But meanwhile, we're celebrating your 10-year anniversary, and you've got Boots and Blessings coming up, which is a gala. So tell us about that, Kathy.
It's going to be very fun. It's going to be very fun. It's the first one for Agape, and the underlying theme is fundraising for Prescott Valley and for the apartment buildings that are over off of Alto in Prescott. The families are looking forward to. We're going to have some testimonials from them as well as to how Agape House was able to give them a hand up, and it's just an exciting time to see a program that is so God-driven, that people want to know that they're valued. And I started out with homeless veterans, being a veteran myself, and then I saw how Agape House keeps families together, and children are so wonderful, and they need their parents, and they need a place. One of our administrators, they said there was a woman that gave her 6-year-old a bath in a bathtub for the first time in 6 years.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, it's heartbreaking. Yeah, we take those for granted.
And then you make it possible for somebody.
Yeah, so this is going to be really fun.
So is this a fundraiser to support the programs Agape House goes towards the capital project in Prescott Valley, or a little bit of everything?
It's a little bit of everything. It's perfect timing as we're getting real close to Prescott Valley. But we just want to celebrate 10 years. We want, just like Red, White, and Boom that happened here recently, we want to have that same kind of fun, but also have it for a cause.
Well, let's talk about the date and time and what the evening looks like.
July 20th, which is a Thursday, and it starts at 5 o'clock, goes till 9. In between, there's a live auction and also a silent auction. There'll be speakers and then also dancing.
Okay.
Okay, now we're going to have a band there, and I don't know who's doing the food. I
So
forgot.
we're excited that a chamber member, so Squealing Hog,
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Logan's going to
Logan.
provide
Oh,
great food.
wonderful.
I mean, if nothing else, the name is great, but his food is even better.
He's the true community supporter, absolutely.
He is. We love working with him.
And where are you holding it?
So we're having it at Mountaintop Christian Fellowship,
Okay.
kind of the end of Gurley where it hooks towards Thumb Butte. Mm-hmm. So it used to be the DES building and a Fry's.
I know what you're talking about.
Yep.
The plaza with a lot of names.
That's the place.
Yeah.
But we're excited to have it there because it's big, so we can do all those things at once. We have a sarsaparilla bar
Okay.
there. We might have some root beer floats for dessert and some cobbler and ice cream.
So do you have stop tickets available?
We do. So
Okay.
if they want to contact our office at 928-910-1089, or they can just look us up on the internet or social media.
Right.
So yeah, agapehouseprescott.org. Will
And
get
how
to
much
us.
are the tickets?
They are $100.
Okay.
Yes.
So we're
well worth it.
You're absolutely worth it. I'm sure a portion of all those proceeds goes,
Oh,
you
yeah.
just talk to your tax professional and you can write
Yes,
that off. Because
yes.
it's a good contribution to a very wonderful
Yeah, the tax
organization.
credit really keeps us going too as well.
Well, now that you mention that, you do take the tax credit.
we do. We're part of the Arizona Charitable Tax Credit.
And it's not ever too early to start looking at what your tax liability may be
Exactly,
coming up as we,
exactly.
we are in the second half of 2023 now. I know. Here we are.
When
But
did
it's not
that
too
happen?
early to start thinking about some of those things and where your charitable dollars are going to go and the organizations you wish to support. And I can, really vouch for Agape House that you really use the money wisely and you do take care of people in our community. And I love the fact you're going to be in Prescott Valley.
Right. We're excited. One of our families that's been with us for about a year that came from just a terrible life of just life in crisis, all kinds of things that some they did themselves, some were done to them. 3 kids. Well, they're in escrow on a house now. So we're excited. They'll be leaving us, but they'll be moving into their own place.
Oh, well,
Very exciting.
but then there's always somebody that can, come in behind them that can get that fresh start with you.
Oh, you're right, Marty. I mean, we get 5 calls a day or so.
Wow.
I can take 1 a month. With Prescott Valley, we'll be able to take a couple people a month now.
That's wonderful.
And then just give them that time to rebuild and find their own place, whether it's a house.
Couple things. Go to your website. What is that?
So it's Agape, A-G-A-P-E, houseprescott.org
.org. Your phone number.
is 928-910-1089.
And Booths and Blessings 10-year anniversary gala is Thursday, July the 20th. Come on out and join us as we celebrate and support Agape House and look forward to Agape House in Prescott Valley. So thank you both. Thank you both for
Thank
joining us,
you.
Mike and Kathy.
Thank
All
you
right.
for having us.
Short break. We'll be right back.
Did you know dragging chains can spark a wildfire?
Only you can prevent wildfires.
And welcome back to Community Connections. Joining me now is Brandon Gabaldon. He is the director and producer of a new show. It's called The Legend of Zinni the Kid. And joining us also is John Spencer File, the sheriff. So with that, I'm going to introduce Brandon and say, hey, Brandon, what you got going on here?
Hey, Marnie. So this is a one-of-a-kind experience. It is a 45-minute long episode we filmed all around town with local actors and collaboration with many business owners around the city. Shout out at the Dells and got a lot of cool stuff in this episode. And so we air it, and it's going to be on the big stage at the Elks. We used to perform at Thumb Butte Distillery, so some people may have been there and are familiar with the old kind of...
the TBD show.
Yes, the TBD
So
show.
some people might be familiar with that.
Yes, some
Yeah.
people may have gone to old episodes. This is a whole new experience on the Elks stage, and with that, this has been a dream venue for us. We're incorporating some live skits as well, some like bigger productions. We're working with the local Shakespeare group.
Yeah.
So they're going to be doing a little skit that's after intermission to kind of get people back into it. We have Xander Rodriguez playing music beforehand as people kind of get settled into their seats. So we're making it a whole big event, a good night. For,
Whole evening's
Yeah,
worth. Yeah,
exactly.
so very immersive.
Yes.
So how'd you come up with this idea?
Well, the TBD show has been going for almost 2.5 years now, almost 3 actually at this point. And so this has been a long time coming of building up to the Elks and other venues. And basically this is a reboot because you had to have been caught up before. It's been this narrative that's kind of gotten...
Like a Netflix series or
Yeah,
something, right?
yeah,
Okay.
it's gone a little out of control. So we're reining it back in and really wanting to get in front of new audiences and saying, hey, you don't know what this is, but just show up and it'll be fun and it'll hopefully make sense.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm going to jump over to the sheriff here and ask you, tell me a little bit about your town that this all takes place in.
Well, my town is a dry town.
Oh, okay.
You understand? And I'm a little confused. I thought this was an intervention. Are you the one drinking? Or are you the one drinking?
No, it's called an interview.
Oh, it's an interrogation.
No.
Well, who are you? What did you do?
Interview.
Interview.
Yes, tell us about you.
That's why you were doing your shameless plug thing.
Yes, yes, absolutely.
Well, I am the sheriff and the law in these here parts. And I run my campaign on it being a dry town, a safe town for its citizens.
Okay.
And I am planning on running for re-election. And down the road, I'm got my eye on that governor's seat.
Ooh.
I mean, I do have a
Political aspirations.
third grade. I have a third grade education, so I'm more than qualified.
Well, we shall see how that goes for you. So tell us a little bit about your cast and who else is creating this legend of Zinni the Kid.
So, in the name, Zinni, Robert Zinni,
Zinni.
yeah.
Oh, okay.
He is becoming a cowboy and learning what it is to become a cowboy. He starts out as a vagabond kid out on the ranch digging holes and finds out that the sheriff here made Prescott a dry town. And Zinni, as many other citizens of the town, enjoy their whiskey very much, specifically the whiskey from Thumby Distillery. And so he's trying to save the day by bringing the whiskey back to the town.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
So he's a bad guy.
Oh, well, yeah, in
Right.
your eyes, he's a bad
Right,
guy.
right.
Okay. And so that's Robert Zinni playing that role.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So the show centers around Zinni as it has. We also have many other characters. Dana Murdoch, the owner of Thumby Distillery. She is Zinni's kind of guide. She runs this little speakeasy that the sheriff doesn't know about.
Doesn't know about,
Right.
We won't tell him.
Right. The nothing. And she's kind of guiding Zinni along this journey. And Sky Daddy, Sky Conwell, made an original song that we're using.
Yes.
That is The Legend of Zinni the Kid. And it was just it blew us all away. So that's why we titled it as such. We got a lot of friendly faces. We worked with the Western Heritage Society, and so we've had some of their reenactors come with us. There's a great scene at Jersey Lily in the saloon, and it really came to life, and I think we did a good job of making it feel like that period piece.
Now, did you write this?
I wrote it with Zinni and John Spencer File, who's not with us today.
Not with us.
Right,
Okay.
right. And yeah, it's kind of this fun collaboration that we wrote over a bottle of whiskey as it goes. That's usually how the TBD show episodes come to life. And yeah, I don't know. It's just been this crazy thing of just you have this idea and then just we go with it. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
You know, it sounds so creative.
Yeah.
You know, you're touching so many different parts of the arts with the live performances, the entertainment, the movie, the filming, involving so many more than are normal. This is amazing.
Thank you.
And then, of
Yeah.
course, holding it at the Elks. What a
Right.
beautiful venue for, a story like this, a
Yes.
Western story.
Big thanks to them, and Colette Greenlee's been awesome, and just kind of saying, hey, let's try it. So she gave us the shot, and hopefully it goes well.
I think it will. I'm
Yeah.
excited about it.
Awesome.
Anybody want to go? I'm going Friday, July 21st.
Yep,
It's at
7
7 o'clock at the Elks. You said there's a lot of stuff involved with it, though. I mean, you come early. There's music, entertainment.
Right. So Xander Rodriguez will be playing in the 30 minutes when doors open, so
There's not
people
whiskey
get
in
their
there, is
seats. No.
Okay.
No. Yes, there is. There'll be the bar available, right, with just soda and water and stuff. And then if you actually show your ticket at La Planchada, starting at 4:30 ahead of time, they have a taco bar that they've put for guests of the show. It's our little pre-party, and half off your first drink. So all you have to do is say, hey, here's my ticket on my phone or whatever, and there's that. And then as well, after the show, we have an after party at the Whiskey Row. The Whiskey Row Events Courtyard that's downtown,
Yes.
right on Gurley Street.
And that,
so.
if you have a ticket to that, you could go over to the after party?
Yep,
Or is that
yep.
extra?
I think we're opening to the public. No, it's all included. And I think that one might even be open to the public. We're ironing out a couple details there. But that's going to have Sky Daddy playing there, the Billy Reno Band, and a local DJ, Mammo Fish, will be playing. So it's going to be a whole night of fun if you plan for it.
Brendan, you really involve so many more people in a lot of things that you do that
Yeah.
introduces us to the community, and it's really so
That's
cool.
the goal.
So cool.
Yeah.
Brandon also is box office manager still at Sousa's Prescott
Mm-hmm.
Center for the Arts, and he just got through directing SpongeBob SquarePants that sold out.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
Oh my gosh, that was a
Congratulations.
blast. Yeah.
And then immediately goes into this show. So let's remind everybody where it's going to be and when and how they can get tickets.
Let us know, Sheriff.
Can you tell us, Sheriff?
Well, I hear tell that it takes place at the Elks Opera House, and that is July 21st at 7 p.m.
Indeed. And PrescottElksTheater.org? Off the top of my head? Yeah.
Right, you're
okay.
right.
I've only refreshed the page 100 times checking ticket sales. So.
Elkstheater.org. So
Yeah.
come on out and join us. Let's all go have a great time. The Legend of Zinni the Kid. It looks like what a wonderful experience and a great addition to arts and live performances and fun in Prescott Valley. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Marnie.
All right, we'll be right back.
If you love them enough to crawl into a play place to get them to come down, then surely you'll check nhtsa.gov/the right seat to make sure they're in the right car seat.
And welcome back to Community Connections. Now, I'm really excited about my next two guests because it's just one of my little passions. I've got Adam England, who is a backyard astronomer, but he's also the owner of Manzanita Accounting and Insurance. I have to plug you out on that one,
Thank you.
Adam. But a backyard astronomer, I feel like I'm a hobbyist in space and stars too. And I've got Manuel Lucero, who is the executive director of the Museum of Indigenous Peoples. And they've come together and done this really wonderful thing. I heard about it, and I wanted everybody to hear about that because if I love something, everybody else should love it. But Adam, talking about the Name EXO World's 2022 competition, tell us a little bit what that was about, the fact that you won it, and what has transpired since then.
Yeah, so since 1608, when Galileo made the first telescope, we've been finding things that we can't see with our natural eyes. And we have found that there's millions and millions and billions of other stars, and they usually get a designation, usually off the name of the person who discovered it, and then a string of letters and numbers. And as the James Webb Space Telescope is looking at new exoplanets that orbit other stars, we found they needed better names than GJ436b. So the International Astronomical Union consolidates all these discoveries, and they did a competition for 20 of the top candidates that the James Webb Space Telescope is going to be looking at. The 2022 competition's theme was Indigenous languages.
Oh, okay.
So we put together a team with myself as an amateur astronomer, Embry-Riddle, professional astronomers and educators there, and the Museum of Indigenous People.
Yeah.
Okay. And that's how you got involved, Manuel?
That's how I got involved. These guys
It sounded good?
It was. It's, you know, I like stars and space, and I watch documentaries, usually fall asleep at night. But my passion is like Star Wars. But you know, I was digging it, and I was a bit of a space nerd, so I'm like, okay, this is cool. And they came in, and I was like, well, you know, the Hopi word for the sun is Dawa, you know, and the Cherokee word for star is Nokwisi. And they're like, oh, this is great. We're already going
The
on a roll.
Kachinas,
Yeah,
a lot of the Kachinas are star related.
Yeah, so, and you know, you got native astronomy going on. There's plenty of star charts, and you see a lot of the rock art around here. You'll see a bordered equilateral cross with a border around it. That usually represents Venus.
Wow. I don't think a lot of people know about the with the indigenous people and stars, the connection, more so than mostly Earth.
Well, sure. Well, people think of, oh, we love Mother Earth, but we're very aware of the Star Nation.
Yeah.
And, you know, like all of our ancestors, no matter where you came from, you looked up at the sky. It told you what time of year it was, when you need to start planting, when you need to start harvesting, all these wonderful things. We don't do that anymore because we've gotten lazy. We look at our idiot bricks, you know, our iPhones, and we live our life that way, and we're very narrow focused. We don't look up at the heavens anymore and think about that. Well,
And ironically, most of our constellations that we know in Greco-Roman names have the same basic story, or they saw the same animal or image thousands of miles across continents and oceans.
Right.
You have the Big Dipper, we know as Ursa Major is the Great Bear, but it's also the bear in
Cherokee.
15 different indigenous languages.
Wow.
So you have Yona and Yona Usti, Little Bear.
Right.
So the Big Dipper and the Little Dipper.
My goodness.
But yeah, we've all done it, no matter where you come from. So at the museum, we actually have an exhibit on that now. But we'll talk a little more about that in a bit.
Yes, because we definitely want to mention that
Yes.
exhibit.
Yeah.
So back to, so you entered this contest.
Yeah, and there was 20 exoplanets, so planets that orbit stars outside of our solar system, and their host star that needed names. And so you had to pick one and then come up with a story that was relative to that. And the one that we found was Gliese 436 and Gliese 436b, the planet that orbits it. The planet orbits in 2.5 days. Its year is only 2.5 days that it goes around its star. And it's very, very hot, but it's a water world. So it's melting, it's vaporizing. It has a 9 million mile long tail. And as soon as we found this one, Manny said, I know what we're going to talk about.
Well, I saw that. We're at the Lindley
Jim and Lindley Planetarium.
Okay.
which is just cool.
Yeah.
And it was cool, even if we didn't, it was just cool to go there and look at that stuff, because
Yeah.
you're like, wow. And they're traveling you millions and hundreds of millions of miles to go look at this planet, and you're in there doing it.
Right.
And so it's like, and here's the star, and they're saying all this science stuff, you know, and I'm just going over my head. And I'm a storyteller, right? And I look at that, and I was like, wow, that's really close to its star, to its sun, and it's got a tail. That reminds me of a Cherokee story I know. And so I told the story, and it has to do with a young warrior. And you think about in the Ice Age when all the flora and fauna was changing. Times were tough, people were starving. They weren't finding the foods they're used to finding, and so on.
Right.
And so this warrior, he's been praying and praying and praying to the Great Spirit for help for his people, and it wasn't working down there in his village. So he makes his way up high and high as he can go into the Smoky Mountains where our people are from. And he gets as high as he can go. The air starts getting thin. He can't really go any higher. And he runs into Yona, the bear. And the bear says, Two-Legged, what are you doing here? You don't belong here. You belong down in your village with your children, you know, and living down there. You don't belong up here. And the warrior told him the story, and then the bear felt bad. He was taken back by this wonderful story, or the sad story, actually. And so the bear says, I'll take the prayer and see what I can do. So he takes the prayer, and he goes as high as he can into the mountains. He gets up top where the pine trees are no longer growing. There's one scraggly tree going on the top of this mountain, and on it is an eagle's nest. Wahali, the eagle, says, Bear, what are you doing up here? You should be down in the woods eating berries and catching fish. And the bear says, oh, I have this important task to complete. And he tells the eagle the story about the people, the two-leggeds. And eagle's taken back by this also. He feels for the compassion for the humans. And he takes the prayer, and he says, I'll see what I can do. So he flies as high as he can, higher than he's ever gone before. And he can't get any higher. Closest he can get to the Great Spirit is to the sun. He gets to the sun. And the sun says the same thing to him. Eagle, what are you doing up here? You belong down amongst the clouds. catching fish in the lake. You know, why are you up here? Eagle tells the son the story of the two-leggeds and their struggle that they're having, and that he is to deliver this prayer to the Great Spirit. The son says, I speak to the Great Spirit every day. I will deliver the prayer. But first give me one of your tail feathers. And so the eagle does. He reaches back and he plucks out a tail feather, and the son takes it and he kisses it on the end. That's why an eagle feather is white with a black tip on the end. And I should have brought a feather today so I could demonstrate. But he gives it back to the eagle and he says, take that feather down to the people so that they know that they will always have a direct connection to the Great Spirit. And that's why Native people treasure eagle feathers so much. But I told that story because the tail on that planet going around and it being so close to the sun. And so we named it Nokwisi, star in Cherokee, and Awahale, eagle for the planet.
And the golden eagle also being the mascot of Embry-Riddle.
Correct.
It just tied in completely.
So everything
What a
tied in
story.
together, right?
We also had students from the North Point Expeditionary
Yeah.
Academy and Liberty Traditional School who also have eagle mascots. It all tied in.
Wow, this is an amazing story. I know we're running out of time. The exhibit is open.
It is opened from now till December, and we're open from 10 to 4 most days, 1 to 4 on Sundays, and it is called Ani Nokwisi, Star People or Star Nation.
And that is at the Museum of Indigenous People, located where?
147 North Arizona Avenue in Prescott, Arizona.
Well, congratulations, Adam. What a story. And now you've you've pulled me in and I want to learn more. So we shall talk again.
And come visit the museum.
Absolutely. Thank you. Sure. Well, thank you all for joining us on Community Connections. We hope you enjoyed the show. We'll see you in 2 weeks.